All right, so let's get started. Yeah, as always, let's start with Shutter.
Hi, everyone. So on our end, we resolved an issue we had with the DKG where some messages were not being sent correctly amongst the keepers, and rendering some of the keys public. And so we had some releases for that, and we also published a report around that in the Shutter forum, where you can find some more technical details. And we are also working. Mhm. And we are also working on testing the inclusion rates with the new Eragon validators. We're actually working with the Eragon team asynchronously on that over Telegram. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Testing?
Hi, not much from my side. I have added one workflow to clean up Hive reporting server from reports, because we will need to do it once per 2 months. And also I consulting Chetna regarding East integration.
I didn't quite get what the thing is we need to do every 2 months.
So sometimes sometimes our reporting server fills out with no space, yeah, and we will need to go manual to it and remove all old reports. And now I created some GitHub workflow to do it automatically, so you don't need to have SSH access to the server. You can just trigger workflow, and that's it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Shetland, do you have anything in testing?
So in testing, I'm working on integration with Gnosis. So I've gotten to match the state root. I'm fixing the Genesis block mismatch. Apparently, there are a couple of fields that needs to be added on the fixture side.
Right. Anything else in testing? All right, let's move on to Netherminds then.
On our side, we're working on testing the 1.36.0 release.
Oh, sorry, which release was that?
I think it's 1.36.0. So that's the larger release that I mentioned before.
Okay. Testing. Okay, Eragon.
Well, no specific updates from me. We were recently made one small update. We've made a patch release 3.3.1 recently, and yeah, I think that's it from me. Mark, do you have any updates?
No, I don't. Not on. I mean, apart from the. Did we do the patch with the fix for the balancer problem? Is that something we're still waiting for?
No, it's still under. It's still being tested. So maybe Philip will probably update us on that. There is. It's implemented. I'll share. I'll point you to the PR. It's implemented, but I don't think we've finalized the timestamp for the actual hard fork.
Yes, that is correct. I will address this right after the updates.
Yeah.
Geth?
Hey, yeah, so I did a release for Balancer. There was a problem with it on the shadow fork. I'm currently syncing the chain for some reasons. I haven't snap synced the chain in a while, and I guess it's also because I'm currently trying to snap sync the shadow fork instead of the main chain. But it's very slow, and it looks like it's slowing down. This morning I was 1 hour and 20 minutes away from getting the full sync, and now with 75% of the chain downloaded, I am 1 hour 26 minutes. So I don't know if anybody has an explanation for this. My current assumption is that there's just not enough machines to serve blocks to me. But yeah, apart from that, I did find an issue in the configuration file, so that's what I'm testing. But yeah, unfortunately, it's tested via sync. So that's what's happening. And in the background, in order to avoid this nonsense, I am implementing the history expiry, like the ability to not download all the blocks, all the all the block bodies on Gnosis chain, because so far it's only supported on mainnet and some testnets. So yeah, that's the two things I'm currently busy with.
All right. Thank you. Wrath?
Yes, the upgrade to 193 is almost done. The PR is up, but there is one issue in that upgrade. So in the in the shadow fork, red stopped for like 10 hours last night, and that was actually a bug in upstream, like in Paradigm's red. So instead of like our Fusaka ready release will essentially not be 193, it will just be one more commit cherry picked on top of 193, and that is a branch that Paradigm themselves made for us. So yes, I mean, so essentially the next release will be both hard fork and Fusaka compatible, but I'm currently working on that.
All right, thank you. So yeah, regarding Balancer, so we did a shadow fork with Nano Mentoring and Wrath. Thank you to Marcos and Carlos, sorry, from the Nanomind team for spinning up 2 shadow forks. It's actually already the second one, but the first one also had an issue. We went through the hot fork without any issues. I mean, attestations, everything looks great. As Deb mentions, there was an issue with Wrath, but completely unrelated to the hot fork, so all good on that side, quickly patched and fixed, and it works correctly now. I've already tested the recovery of the funds, which worked perfectly, so it is exactly the same setup as we are going to use at mainnet. So through a save, getting all the funds back, everything works perfectly, so yeah, again, no forks, no nothing. So seems like we are pretty much ready. Now the question is mostly when Geth will be ready and when we should basically set a date. Yeah, except for that, everything is good. I mean, oh yeah, we also need to still test EIP 3607, if I remember correctly. So making sure that the private key controlling an address that has some code on it cannot actually do transactions. So that's I still have to do and will do right after this call. Yes, Guillaume?
Yeah, I mean, if I just had a question about the guest part, because as far as I can tell, there was a configuration issue. So if you want to do another shadow fork, it should be good to go. So yeah, if you want to do if you want to speed things up.
You think it's good to go to mainnet directly, you mean, or?
No. I mean, I thought there was going to be a third shadow fork to be sure. If that's okay, that was our conversation this morning. Maybe I overinterpreted what you said. But yes, I think if you want to attempt a third shadow fork, guess should be good to go. I mean, I don't know. I'm still waiting for this thing to happen, right? But yeah, from what I understand, at least I have an explanation of why it went wrong if you try to join after the fact. So yeah, that's the way I see it, at least.
Yeah, so I will still try to do a shadow fork with Carlos and Marcos. Unfortunately, we still, well, don't have that knowledge internally, but we are working towards that. We are still relying on Nanomind a bit for that. So yes, if we can make it work by end of, I mean, I will try to make it work by end of this week, and then yeah, we would definitely be certain. But yeah, in my opinion, at this point, Nanomind, Aragon, and Wrath are ready and safe and tested with the shadow fork and everything. So yeah, we should be very close to completion. Yeah. So by end of this week, I would like to set a definite date and already now start talking about basically timelines. So hopefully by end of this week, we can actually test Geth on a third shadow fork. And then we can set a date basically 10 days later, which would be the 22nd of December. Now that starts to be quite close to the holidays, but I feel like we have to do it before the holidays at this point. So yeah, I would rather schedule it, well, sooner rather than later. Does that make sense for everyone?
Actually, there's one thing that doesn't make sense to me. Why? But I missed a few meetings. But why do we do a specific fork for this? Why don't we just make this thing as part of Fusaka?
Yeah, so there are a couple of reasons. The first one is that at the moment, Shadow is still broken. We are very close to recovering it. But we need to go through Fusaka and Shadow first. And that is still a bit out. The second reason, well, the timing reason basically also is an issue because the more we wait, the more there's a risk for people to update their nodes to, for example, the new Aragon version that doesn't have the balancer soft fork. So that might cause an issue on the network. And yeah, so there's this timing issue. And then the second thing is that we basically don't want to push the censoring codes to the main branch. So we are doing a short hot fork here with the censoring codes and everything. But then for Fusaka, we can actually remove all of that because obviously we have to keep the censoring code for the hot fork. But once we are through the hot fork, we can remove all that code and then do Fusaka in a clean way, basically. So we have a second hot fork 2 or 3 weeks, whatever, a month after, but it will be a clean one without the censoring and all of that, and in the main branch.
Okay. I mean, yeah. You see, you feel like, yeah. I'm not telling you what to do. It's just that it seems to be a lot of a coordination issue for one quick fix. But maybe that's because I'm not actually doing the censoring. I'm just rewriting the code. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a simpler solution. But yeah, I don't have the full picture.
Yeah, I mean, I agree it would have been easier to do the two at the same time, but we are not really ready for Fusaka. And anyways, we've discussed this with the client teams, and they also prefer to do it in 2 different hot works. So yeah, to me, that's fair. So yeah, I guess we don't have Carlos or Marcos here, so we'll check that out async. But is there any concerns about targeting December 22nd for the hot fork? All right.
Yeah, so presumably if it's not, then it gets really close to Christmas.
Sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear.
If it would it be better to do the 19th? So if it slips, we can retry the 22nd, because otherwise it's going to get into Christmas. That would be my only concern.
Well, I guess let me check. So we are if we finalize it on Friday, that would only leave basically a week for people to update. Do we think that's enough? I don't know how much time we usually give. Maybe Lion, do you know that?
For what specifically? Sorry.
How much time should we give our users, or basically node runners for upgrading to the hard fork?
So I think the shortest we have ever done is at least 1 week. That's the bare minimum. Like in Ethereum, we do 2 extremely minimum and try to do more. Like operators are pretty quick, but we need to coordinate quickly with the app node for them to issue packages. That's usually the slowest bit. So yeah, I would say 1 week extreme minimum from everything being ready.
Yeah, so I mean, packages we can do very quickly because it's all just internal, right? It's just ELs and you control all of those. So I think by Friday we can definitely have all the releases, assuming, of course, you can do the shadow fork tomorrow, or maybe even today. Reth needs time for DB resync, right? So I think targeting the 22nd is still safer. And anyways, I mean, I don't see what could go wrong in such a way that 3 days of a weekend would solve it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So to me, the 22nd, it leaves 10 days, including 2 weekends for users that are maybe at home or whatever, not professional stakers. Yeah, I feel like that makes sense.
I mean, the problem with Christmas is that people are going to be in their families and stuff, and I don't know if you'll have a lot of attention for this.
Yeah, but
So,
that's why
yeah.
we probably need to push for before Christmas, because if not, then we are delaying for a month, basically, right?
Yeah, but if it's just before Christmas, yeah, people are already going to be in Christmas mode. I mean, okay, fine.
Yeah, but I mean, if we are cutting releases on this Friday, then they still have 10 days before Christmas, right? Even 15.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like the 22nd is the very last day, because by the time you're in the 23rd, it becomes a bit of a problem, I think.
Yeah, I mean, on the 22nd, they would have, I mean, they need to update before that, right? So, yeah. Any other concerns on the 22nd? Let's keep it at that tentatively. Line, do we need to respect fork boundaries here? I guess not, right?
Do you mean fork boundaries?
I mean, usually we calculate the slot on which we do a hard fork, based on the script you're running to select the slots. We don't need that here because it's purely EL, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Like even that reason is kind of fragile. It's for, I think it only affects the light client and then some uses that have never been done. So if you are in a rush, you don't need to respect them as much for this one.
I mean, we can also check the dates and then see if there's something on the 22nd.
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep it tentatively for 20 seconds. I'll try to see with another my team if we can get a shadow fork today to test Geth again. And then is everyone available to cut releases on Friday? All right, I'll take that as a yes then. Perfect. That's it on my side. Any questions or comments? Yeah, Andrew?
Yeah, I'd like to confirm that we are, for the shadow fork, we overwrote 2 accounts, right?
Yes.
And for the real hard fork, we are overriding only 1.
Yes, good point. We are actually, so I will test right now on the second shadow fork if EIP 3607 works as intended. If it does, for the third shadow fork, we'll do it actually exactly like on mainnet. So basically, in the sense that we are going to reuse the exact same releases except for a timestamp difference for mainnet afterwards. So we will remove that second address on the third shadow fork.
Okay.
And I will confirm that on the chat to be quite clear about that. Thanks for the reminder. Okay, so perfect. I think we have a timeline. So let's try to execute on that. Thank you everyone for joining, and see you on Telegram. And next
Bye.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye.